Okay, hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be adding inventory, an inventory management system into this multiplayer roguelike game that I've been working on. So it's going to be a bit tricky. What we have so far is we have multiplayer movement and we can open and close our inventory, but that's about it. So hopefully we can get something done today. Let me just start my timer to see how long I've been working. Let's go. So this is what we have so far. We have movement, we have shooting, we can open and close our inventory, and we can pick up items, but currently the item doesn't go into our inventory when we pick it up. So that's gonna kind of be the first thing on the agenda to do. Making UIs is a bit of a pain, and implementing this kind of like drag mechanic is something that I often struggle with, so this is gonna be an interesting challenge, I think. So let's try and do that. So the first thing we're going to do is quickly look at the code, try and catch up on where we are. Yes, here we are. This is what we need to do. So when we pick up an item, it's going to ask the server, hey, can we pick up this item? And when that happens, the server's going to be like, yep, if the item's still there, you can have it. And it's going to send this packet to say, here you go, this is the item you picked up, which then on the client is called this local pickup method. And that's going to be what can tell us that we can update our inventory. So here, we're going to have to handle this somehow. And what we're going to need to do is grab this local instance of inventory user interface and set that. So for now, I think we're going to just take a bit of a dodgy approach and just make a static variable to store it. There should only ever be one of these instances, even though, so something we have to consider is for objects, we can't just make them static because here we're testing with the server and client on the same computer, so we have to actually simulate a difference in these two things. So I can't just make static variables because that would allow for like cross-contamination of our testing and kind of ruin some of our results. So we don't want that, but for this case it's fine. We're just going to do that. So let's just add like a stub function, I guess, to add an item to the inventory. So when we add the item to the inventory, all we really need to do is add like an icon, I guess, for now, because we don't have to know what the item does. We just have to know what it looks like. It's the server that needs to be responsible for knowing what the item actually does. So yeah, for now, let's just say add inventory item. I'm not really sure how we're going to store the icon. That's going to be something that's going to be tricky, but I think that's something that we'll get to. For now, let's go to our UI, just lock onto that, and let's try and make something that we need like a prefab for something that will slot into one of these item slots. So right now we have a bunch of stuff here. This prefab is, to be honest, it's just going to be an image. That's all it needs to be. 10, 10, 10, 10. We need to make it so we can drag this around. For now, we're putting this stretch gun, sure, and that works. So this is currently anchored to one of these item slots. I think what we want to do, is when we start dragging this item, it's going to detach, come up to this inventory, and start moving freely around. It just needs to follow the mouse cursor. It doesn't matter where it is. But then when we release it on a slot, that's when we want to say, let's stick it in this slot. So we actually are going to need to track which items are within each slot. So let's make a representation for the item in the user interface. So we'll just make a new C# script, user interface item. And this needs to be a mono behavior. This being internal is fine. So we'll just keep the data on here so we can tell the server about what we've been doing. Oh, it's just deleted all my code. There it is. And our inventory is a grid, so just do an array here, I guess. Inventory slots. So this is going to be the representation for our basic inventory slots. We need to know how many slots we have, which is going to be tricky. For now, I'm just going to hard code it to 10 by 3, because that's what we have. Alright, yeah, make that eternal. It looks like the stream is not having enough video to maintain buffer. Okay, it looks like our bitrate kind of sucks for this stream. I'm not sure if there's anything I can do about that. I'm sorry if you're experiencing buffering, but there's no one watching right now, so it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep going on. So, yeah. We're going to need to figure out where to add this. So, first free slot. Okay. Find the first free slot. Yep, free Y, 0, 0. Ooh, it's gonna have to be a boolean because we might not be able to pick it up. Interestingly, not really sure what to do if we don't have enough space because it's already been confirmed by the server that we want to pick up this item. In that case, I don't know what we'll do. We'll figure that out in a bit. So, for n I equals 0, and x equals 0. That's better. X is less than inventory slots dot get length 0, x plus plus. For n, just loop through everything on the y-axis. Get length 0. This gets the length of the dimension. So, dimension 0, x-axis, dimension y-axis. Well, dimension 1 is the y-axis. If inventory slots, if we've got nothing in this slot. If there's something in the slot, then, you know, just keep going. If not, then we're done. So we'll just break to this point. Can we not do this? Okay. I thought you could do that. Maybe that's a different language. Okay, if break 3x equals x. Come on, autocomplete, there we go. Okay. If we can't find a slot, fail. Okay. Now we can just set the inventory item to this. We're actually going to need to instantiate a new instance, so we're going to need a way to know what to instantiate. So for that, we're just going to have a private static void on game start. We're just going to load it as a prefab. We're going to do it here because it just makes it a bit cleaner rather than having it on everything. And then Unity's, what's it called? Unity's domain reloading will be much quicker. So user interface item, prefab. Come on, give me capital letters. My shift key is getting stuck. I'm just going to load that. User interface item. There we go. Okay, nice. Let's make this in Unity. So we'll have here. I hate how long the Unity loads are. This is the one thing making me want to switch to Godot. Are the massive load times. Like the drama about Unity doesn't really concern me too much, since, you know, even with a theme, it's probably cheaper for me to use Unity than it is to learn a whole new engine and waste a whole load of development time. But the load times, they drive me insane. Time is like the most expensive thing that you can really own. So having to spend like hours every single time I'm doing one of these sessions, just waiting for nothing to happen, really gets a bit ridiculous. So now that that's done, we're going to name this appropriately, user interface item. Going to make that. And now we can make our little prefab. So user interface, we're going to make a resources folder here. So the way resources work in Unity is that whatever you search for is gonna, if you search for an item, then its name is relative to a resources folder, but you can have multiple of these resources folders just fine. So yeah, we're gonna put that in there. We called it user interface item, which is fine. That's what it was called in there. Unity is not happy right now. It's missing something here. Yeah. So what we're going to do here is instantiate this. So we do need a way to be able to get one of our children, which is going to be a bit of a pain. I don't really want to manually assign them, so I think I'll just get this child and then fetch the appropriate one of these items, because they should always be the same. Yeah, old version of C# doesn't have proper nullables, which is annoying. This might complain that nullability isn't enabled as well. So here we're going to do private. What do we want? Rect transform? Well, it doesn't really matter. Game object. And this is going to be our item holder. Serialize that. Beautiful. And we are now going to assign them. There we go. Right, so now we can access our items. So we're going to need to find the the physical inventory slot, which is going to be get component in children. I'm not sure if this searches the current one, but I don't think it does. But either way, we'll get an image. Oh, that might go multiple deep though. Can we ask for just the children? This is possible that game objects are enumerable. If they're enumerable with game objects, that would be really nice. They aren't. That's annoying. I want to get a specific child. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be quite as easy as I want it to be. Although I think there's I think get component in children image. This should have an include subchildren category. No, it doesn't. This is going to be really annoying. Okay, let's just Google it. Unity get specific child by ID. Oh, there's just .transform.get child. Okay, that's nice. Transform.get child, and so what we want is 3x plus 3y, but 3y is going to be multiplied by the width of our inventory, because this is just going to be, this is an array, this is a 2D array, so we just need to convert. Yeah, dot values array. There you go. I hope you're happy now. And we're just going to stick you in there. Cool, this should work. Apart from the fact that we haven't actually added this. So now we can just stick this in here. We don't have a reference in player controls to the user interface. Unfortunately, this might make a circular dependency, which would be a real pain. Okay, it doesn't, that's good. Player controls. We're going to go into user interface. There we go. Beautiful. And now we can, when we pick up an item, we're going to tell the user interface to, you know, just display something. That would be nice. I forgot what I called my function. It's instance, because that's what it recommended me. Add inventory item. What do you want? Nothing? Okay, that's great. Sure. So what do we do if local pickup fails? Nothing. So actually, our server does know what items we're holding, so in theory this should never fail, because the server should know exactly what's in our inventory, and the server's the person that controls what's in our inventory, so theoretically this shouldn't fail. If it does, then we can... I guess for now it doesn't really matter, because it should never happen, so we can either crash or just send a drop packet to the server and tell it to drop the item that we just picked up. Not the best, but it's something. Okay, let's just wait for this to do something. This is taking a very long time. I have a decent PC, so it's annoying that it's taken this long. It's honestly, really, like I said, definitely making me considering to switch to... Definitely making me considering Godot. I have used Godot. I'm currently using it for one of my projects, a research project, and I have to say that it is really nice. Being able to just click launch from the code and not having the... Like, I know it's something that might turn a lot of people off, but I really like that the game is not part of the editor, because it means there's no lag when doing anything with the editor. Okay, this isn't working. Why is this not working? I've already fixed the errors. Let's just edit a comment. And there we go. Perfect. Just wait for that to do its thing. It's about 30 seconds every time, which, yeah. If I'm gonna be, like, if this is gonna be happening like once every 5 minutes, that's like 15% of my time is being spent in a loading screen, which is just ridiculous. Like, this kind of makes Unity, like, it makes it a bit unusable in my opinion. Although the time I save from not learning another engine really is probably doing me favors. I have no idea why this is appearing over here now. Okay, the object we want to instantiate is null. This is bad because that means that we didn't successfully get user inventory item. What have we done wrong? Have we made this static? We have. What if we make this not static? Then do we get the warning? We don't. Maybe this has to be public. Let's just attach this to Unity. Saves. It makes it a bit easier to find out what's wrong. Okay. So, here we go. Okay, let's launch this, see what happens. Looks like we got a viewer for a second, which is very nice to see. However, they are gone now. They probably joined at a bad time because I wasn't talking. Right, okay. Hit this, we got a breakpoint object we want to instantiate is null. Item prefab is null. That's really weird because that should be... It should be loading a user interface item called user interface item, which it's not doing. Because it's user inventory item. Okay, they're two very similar names, but easy to confuse. Right, let's rebuild and rerun. Should be working now. If my Unity will stop doing its reload. This is come on, they so should have like fixed this by now. If Godot can do it, I don't see why Unity can't do it. Like, I don't want to be spending I'll be spending years of my life waiting for this to finish loading. Like, it stacks up quickly. Like here right now it's 30 seconds, but like 100 times that's like 3,000 seconds. And 3,000 seconds, that's like 50 minutes? That's a long time. That's like an hour. And like 1,000 times isn't like some ridiculous number. Like, what is it doing? Come on. I just want to test this code. It's not the most interesting thing, but like, I don't think you can see it on the stream because it doesn't pick up the reloading domain window. But yeah, it's currently just reloading. That's why I'm just kind of sitting here and not doing anything because I'm just waiting for it to load. It's been going 28 seconds. Maybe we'll portal this to Godot. There we go. The other thing I hate about Unity is the hot reloading just does not work at all. Like, it only serialize, or it only keeps, it resets all the variables. So what the domain reload does in Unity is, when it needs to do a domain reload, it deletes all of the current objects in the world before deserializing them, or after deserializing, or serializing them. Once it's serialized them, it creates the objects again, deserializes them to restore all the variables, but it only restores the variables of the things that are serialized. So if you have, there we go, we've got items going in your inventory now. If you have something like, for example, this private like boolean hidden, or the static variable, oh no, static variables are fine, but this private boolean hidden, this will just get deleted, which means if you do any domain reloads, the entire game breaks, completely defeating the point of having hot reloads. Like, you might as well just delete the feature at this point. Like, sure, you can code around it, but the amount of effort you have to put into code around it, like, I could make every single private field serializable, but that's then gonna make the domain reload take literally forever, which is just so pointless. Like, who comes up with this? Anyway, this is a problem that Godot solves, so hopefully Unity can solve it too. Having an option to have the game launch in a separate window and have no domain reload would just be very nice. I wish that's something that I could show off right now, but we're currently working in Unity, so that's not something we want to do. Right, so now this is working. I guess what now? We really want to be able to drag these around, so this is where it's going to get tricky, because dragging around and doing user interface stuff is a massive pain in the bum. So what we're going to need is, when we mouse over and click, we want it to start dragging, just start following the mouse. When we release, we want to find, are we over a valid slot? If so, put it in that slot. And yeah, that's going to be an interesting challenge. So first of all, the dragging. So we need to know if we are dragging. So dragging equals false. So Unity has these nice interfaces where you can check if the pointer is on you. I think it's I pointer down. It may be I cursor down. I think it's pointer. It should be pointer. I pointer down. Let me look up the Unity documentation. Unity I pointer down. So, oh yeah, I pointed down handler. So this will call this interface method when we put our mouse over it and we left click. It has to be a UI element. So when this happens, what we're going to do, dragging equals true, and then update. If dragging, we're going to set if transform.parent does not equal null, transform.set parent null. We're just going to Oh, actually, no, we don't want to be null. We want it to be the canvas. We'll do that in here because it makes it easier. Transform dot set parent. Transform dot get or get component in parent canvas. We just want to find the root canvas and go to that. So that's what we're going to do, and then we're going to set our position equal to input dot get mouse position. Nope, mouse position. Okay, good. Let's see what this does. We are coding right now. Let's see what this does. Will we have something amazing, or is it going to be shit and not work? It's probably going to be shit and not work, because that's the way coding works. It works! First try. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Usually it never works first try. That's such a rare occurrence. But now, obviously, if I let go of the mouse, it's stuck. So I pointer. Ooh, okay. So now, rather than doing a pointer up handler, which won't get raised if we're not, I'm actually just gonna if input dot. Using pointer messes up our controller support. So that's something that we're gonna have to think about in the future. However, since I am not good at considering the future, we are not going to consider that right now. So we need to know where we came from so we can go back there. So we'll keep private transform old parent. If we put it in an invalid location, we need to know where to go back to. So transform.parent, and what we're going to do is do transform.setParent, and we're going to go back to our old parent. There we go. Returned to where we came from, back to home. Let's compile the scripts. Unity reloading, that was quite a quick one, that's very nice, although it's going to do another one now when we hit play, which is not nice. Maybe I can set up the stream so you can see the loading bars, that could be nice. So here we go, pick up the item, drag, when we let go. So when we let go, it is going back to where it needs to go. Like here, you can see it updating on the left. However, we're not resetting our position, which is bad. So what we are going to do is just set our position. Transform.local local position equals vector3.0. We don't want to use the global position because that would just stick us in the top left of the screen. We want to go back to where we originate from. And local position is where we originate from. So let's do that. Let's see what we got. So yeah, if you have any messages, send them in the chat and, you know, I'll give them a read. Could make it a bit interesting. But for now, we have none, so let's just continue. So we pick up the item, move it around, let go, and it goes back to the correct slot. Let's spawn another item in. So, I believe the way I've got the networking code done, I've coded this networking myself, by the way. I can just drag the item in, just plop it here, and it should network itself. But actually, it's actually just crashed the entire networking system, which is very bad. Okay, that's bad. So now the whole system has crashed, that's really bad. I don't know why that happened. However, I think it shouldn't crash if we do it like this. If we do it and start, that's going to be a pain in the ass to figure out. Yeah, it works. No, it doesn't work fine. What the? Right, okay, let's see what we got. We got a networking issue. This is going to be a fun one. The networking issues are always very big and very challenging. So, network transform, line 99. So is our prefab name not loading correctly? That's interesting. So it seems like if we're sending multiple... This is bad. It seems like our packets are not sending names correctly. So... Yes, thank you. I understand. Oh no, Unity full crashed. No. Don't crash. Come on. Ah, Unity's crashed. For God's sake. Okay. I don't know what to do now. Well, a good stream, guys. That was amazing. I could just boot it back up again, but I've got no viewers anyway, so I don't know if there's much point. I might try and do something else. Maybe if everyone wants to see, well, I don't know. What does everyone? What do people on YouTube want to watch? I need to kind of build up a following, I guess, and then we can start really getting into the good stuff. Like, I don't know. I guess the main reason for doing this is in the future when games are done, it makes it a lot easier to market them. So that's kind of my main reason for doing this. So I kind of just want to do stuff that gets players interested in the game. Doing development streams probably isn't gonna really interest anyone other than developers. So I think I'm gonna end it there, and we'll see in the future how it goes. All right, thanks for turning up to the stream, everyone.